place is iconic and has a long history with the sea and the people who love it. For my first conversation with Mara, everything just seemed meant to be. There is no irony that we're standing here in God's basement. And to have Enjoy here playing, I mean, come on. Thank you guys so much. 6 years of building something that we had no roadmap for. Just a deep knowing that the ocean was the answer. Thank you for being here. Tonight is the one night a year that our community is in the same room, where the energy of us becomes part of what we are creating. Apparently, I have a lot to say because the first draft of this speech was 47 minutes long. So I cut it down because I know you guys would rather enjoy, but I'm just letting you know. So I watched this movie on Friday night called Chasing Mavericks for the first time. Named after a legendary big wave surf break off the coast of Northern California. 60 plus foot waves, some of the most powerful water on the planet. I watched it because of this guy named Grant Washburn, the surf coordinator and stuntman for the film, and a contributor to tonight's auction. However, his item is stuck in the post office, so we don't have that quite yet. California time, apparently. But Grant is a pioneer of big wave surfing and a fierce advocate for women's surfing, and someone who has spent years developing surf therapy frameworks for trauma recovery. I'll be honest, I had no idea who he was when I first heard his name, but in my defense, I'm not really operating in big wave surfing circles. The ocean brings the right people together, and the auction tonight is proof of that. We found ourselves in the orbit of some of the most celebrated names in surf and coastal art. Artists who have dedicated their lives to capturing the ocean, the culture it creates, the healing it offers, and the pull it has on us. Tonight, their art and our mission are in the same room, and we are so grateful and blown away by the support. Thank you so much to Ashley and Pama, who brought this auction to life, and the heart and energy they poured into every detail, making it a success. Please bid on the beautiful art in the back. And a special thank you to Ashley, whose vision made this possible. She builds bridges between the OisF and the communities that we align with and need to grow our impact, creating connections that compound. Thank you, Ashley. So, yeah. So anyway, this movie, Chasing Mavericks. There was this quote that bookended the movie that I can't get out of my head. It is, "We all come from the sea, but we are not all of the sea. Those of us who are, we children of the tides, must return to it again and again until the day we don't come back, leaving only that which we touched along the way." We all come from the sea, literally. Human blood plasma and the fluid that holds us in the womb are nearly identical in mineral concentration to seawater. But we are not all of the sea. Some of us feel it more than others. And you know what I mean, that draw to the sea, that shift in your body that feels like peace when you get near the ocean. The people who feel that, we recognize each other and we find each other. And that is who is standing in this room tonight. What the OisF is doing, what we've been doing for 6 years, is taking that knowing and intentionally bringing it to the women who need it for reasons that go far deeper than a reset or a moment of peace. Women whose nervous systems are carrying things that words alone cannot reach, and there has been no traditional medicine for. For them, the ocean is not a break or a luxury, it is medicine. The OisF runs the first surf therapy program in the United States designed specifically for survivors of abuse, going on our 5th consecutive year. And we just learned this week from the International Surf Therapy Organization that our program is not only the first of its kind in the US, but as far as they know, the entire world. This past year, we made a deliberate decision to show up more boldly for the women in our program and for the world that needs to know our work exists. We changed the name of our women's program this year to better represent the women we serve, from the Women's Survivor Program to the OisF Gliders Women's Surf Collective. We wanted the name that celebrates the women, who the women always were and are, rising and thriving, not one that defines them by what was done to them, surviving. No more. And what we have built is not simply a program you attend, it is a community you belong to, a collective. Their stories remain private, no disclosure required, but we are done with the hiding, done with the shame, done with the silence that abuse counts on to survive. Abuse is not something you choose. It is your choice being taken from you. And the world has spent too long making women and girls feel responsible for it, not here. What defines the women in this collective is showing up, paddling out, falling, getting back up, trying something that is hard, that is new, and rediscovering joy in it. a reclamation of body, of voice, of aliveness, one wave at a time. You're not just healing, you're taking your life back. What we saw happening with the women was too powerful to keep to ourselves. These women are pure light for themselves and each other, and we knew that their story, their success, their rising would shine outward and inspire others to believe it was possible for them too. Because when one steps out of the shadows, another thinks, well, maybe I can too. That ripple is everything. And everyone in this room has shown up year after year. You deserve to see what your support makes possible. We've been running surf therapy for 5 years, and this winter, for the first time, you're going to surf year-round. Some women come back every year, some step away for family, to have babies, jobs, life, and they come back when they're ready. The door is always open. And when they walk back through it, they find the same thing waiting, a community and an ocean that meets them exactly as they are. They come back because it works, and I don't need to convince you that it works or how the change in the women is rippling out into their families and their communities. I've done that many times before up here. You can read the letters on our website or talk to the number of gliders that are here tonight. But what I do want you to walk out of your understanding is why it works. Why is the ocean so healing? For a long time, when asked why the ocean was healing, I didn't have a great answer. I just knew it was from my own experience and watching what it did to the women session after session. That was always enough for me, but it wasn't enough for the skeptics or for the people who thought it was woo-woo, or for the donors, or for the women we were trying to reach. And it wasn't enough to grow a movement. So I started digging into the science, and I found that every single thing I had felt in my body and every transformation I had witnessed on that beach had a biological explanation, a neurological mechanism, scientific proof. So why the ocean? Abuse is trauma, and it gets stored in the body, in the nervous system, not in the part of the brain that reasons that you can talk to. And that is why talk therapy alone is often unsuccessful for survivors. You cannot reach what language cannot find. Repeated trauma rewires the brain so that the alarm system gets stuck on, always scanning, always preparing for the next threat, and you cannot talk that wiring off. That is not a failure of will, that's biology. These women are incredibly strong, with extraordinarily intelligent biological systems that did exactly what they were designed to do, and that is survive. When they arrive at the beach, the war is over, but their bodies are often still fighting. They need new evidence. They need their body to finally feel what their mind has been trying to say. It's over. You made it. You're safe. So we bring them to the ocean. The ocean speaks the body's language, cold water, movement, rhythm, the same alternating bilateral rhythm that EMDR, one of the world's most evidence-based trauma therapies, uses deliberately to help the nervous system file the past as the past. The ocean does this naturally every session. And for a woman who has spent years learning to just disassociate because staying in her body was too painful, the ocean doesn't gently invite her back to it, it demands it. You cannot be anywhere but present in your body on a board in the ocean. And when she is there, the ocean sets the conditions, but every decision in the water is hers. When to paddle, when to stand, when to go back to the beach. That is agency being rebuilt in real time. For a woman whose agency was taken, whose choices were overridden, that is not a small thing. From the outside, it just looks like surfing. But the moment a wave catches her and she's gliding, free, belonging only to herself, that is healing, happening in real time. The body that was violated is now a body that surfs. That same body, an entirely different story. The board is a tool, surfing is a modality, and the ocean is the medicine. Now, I could keep going, and this was probably where the other 30 minutes of my speech was, but I'm not going to, because if you look around on the walls, you'll find posters and has QR codes that take you to a paper that we wrote that goes into depth about all of this, which I really would recommend scanning and reading and passing on to anybody who could use this information. And talk to Casey. I don't know where she is. Casey is the lead of our glider program, and she brings a depth of neuroscience understanding that it grounds everything we do in our work. And I want to thank Casey for everything she brings to our program, wherever Casey is. Back there. Yes. So we knew the gliders and what we were building was special, but what we didn't understand until this past year was the full weight of what that means. And the person who helped me see that was one of our own gliders, and that's Pama. Pama, one of our own OisF gliders, found her way to our program after watching her son's life, a child with special needs, be transformed by surf therapy. and she turned a light on for the OisF that we will never shut off. Because of Pam's deep roots in the surf therapy world, her research, her connections, her understanding of the field, she helped me understand exactly where what we have built fits into the bigger picture. 5 years of consistent programming, returning participants, and open door policy, I learned that is actually really rare. Most programs offer one session, maybe a season, but what we have built is extraordinary and exactly the kind of data the entire field is desperately trying to generate. Surf therapy is not covered by insurance or prescribed by doctors as a treatment, but that is changing, and the data we collect is part of what changes it. Our programs are cost-free, and that is because of every person in this room. But bringing the ocean to people who need it takes real resources. The more surf therapy becomes recognized as a legitimate, evidence-based medicine that it is, the more pathways that will open for everybody who needs access. The more we prove it works, the more people we can reach and lower the barriers to access. And here's what really lights me up and gives me so much hope. What we prove at the OisF feeds what others are proving in their surf therapy organizations with veterans, with children with autism, with other trauma survivors, with anyone whose nervous system needs what words or traditional ways cannot reach. We are not separate efforts. We are one movement, every data point moving us toward a world where the ocean is available as medicine to anyone who needs it. We are not a local grassroots organization just doing good work. We are helping build a new path to global healing, one that expands how healing is understood, accessed, and available. To every single person in this room, I need to say thank you. The theme of this year is Get On Board, so I'm asking you all to get on board. If you have ever carried something you didn't ask for, get on board. If you haven't, get on board for somebody who has. This is bigger than surfing. This is about one of the most powerful healing forces on earth and making sure it is available to everyone who needs it. Go to the ocean this summer, get in the water, get a surf lesson if you want, or just sit at her edge and let her do what she does. Feel what happens in your body. The ocean is medicine, and you are part of a movement making it available to those who need it. And get on board with being a ripple of strength and light like the women in the OisF gliders. They did the hard thing. They rose and they lit the way, and now it's your turn. A ripple of indifference travels too. Don't be a part of that wave. We started tonight talking about Mavericks, 60-foot plus waves, the most powerful water on Earth. A wave that size doesn't start at Mavericks. It starts thousands of miles away. It's a small disturbance in the open ocean, a ripple, moving and building, gathering energy from everything it passes through until it arrives at something that takes your breath away. That's what we are doing. We are not chasing Mavericks. We are becoming it. Thanks.
Yeah.